Alright, this is part 3 of my Mayan 2012 video. In this video, I'll be talking about the pseudoscience explanations for what is going to occur in 2012. There's the planetary alignment prophecies that because of a gravitational shift, there will be massive catastrophe on Earth because all the planets are going to align and there's going to be a perfect gravitational column. Two things wrong with that. One, no they won't. We clearly know when the planets are going to align. They're moving at a steady pace. Not only are not all the planets going to align, none of them are going to align. We can calculate how fast they're moving. In fact, I can go on a program for free and type in 2040 December 28, and I can know exactly where the planets are going to be because it's just math. They're moving at a steady pace. Chaos theory keeps me from predicting millions of years in the future because anything could happen. A collision with a meteor or something could change something. But for the most part, we're pretty confident that there won't be a planetary alignment unless we fundamentally misunderstood the laws of physics. I doubt that's the case in this particular situation. Then there's the galactic alignment theory, that on that date, the Earth will be aligned with the galactic center. There is some truth to the concept of galactic alignments. At the center of the galaxy is what's called a supermassive black hole. Our spiral galaxy has columns. Now, not only does our solar system rotate around the galaxy in our column, but it also rotates the column. Like, here's the center, it's moving around like this, around the column. Like if this is our column, and then that column is rotating around the center of the galaxy. You get what I'm saying? So if this is the center, our planet is doing this, around the column, which is going around the galaxy. Obviously, it takes less time for our planet to revolve, more time for our planet to go around the sun, a massive amount of time for our planet to orbit once around the arm of a galaxy, exactly around 33 million years, and an infinitesimally longer time for our arm to rotate around the center of the galaxy. Galactic alignment happens about once every 33 million years. And we have a problem. We had a galactic alignment about 3 million years ago. That means we have another 30 million years before we move into position. Not only is none of the planets or the galaxy going to be aligned, we're not even going to have an eclipse. The moon isn't even going to be aligned with the Earth and the sun. There will be no alignment of any sort or fashion. So that's debunked. Do the math. You can do two math. You can simply eliminate those immediately. They're just not going to happen. Then there's the polar shift theory, that at that time the poles will shift. Well, that's true. But here's the problem. The reason the poles will shift at that time is because they're shifting now. We are in a state of shifting poles. It takes about 100 to 300 years for poles to shift. That's what's happening right now. We're not quite in the middle of it. They started about 100 years ago, but the poles are shifting. You can look at our electromagnetic field, and it's very, very distorted. It still works for us fine. It doesn't affect us in any real way. I mean, it might be affecting our weather, but not to any real degree. And if it is, it's going to be steady. It's not going to speed up or slow down in 2012. So yeah, there will be a polar shift. And there will be after 2012 and 13 and 14 and 15 for about 100 or so more years. And then our poles will be reversed. It's not a big deal, really. Your great-grandchildren or your great-great-great-grandchildren will be able to say, the North Pole used to be north. It's not north anymore. Which will be interesting. but not cataclysmic in any meaningful sense of the word. Oh, Nibiru, Planet X. Supposedly, there's going to be a large celestial object, and this one actually is from the Mayan religion. When the world ends, a planet, a dark planet called Nibiru, or a comet, they're not sure, will smash into the Earth, obliterating us. It'll be the age of Aquarius, the new planet that's formed when these two celestial bodies smash into each other. It's true that meteors pass relatively close to the Earth all the time, and we can't really detect them. We find out afterwards, and we're like, wow, it's a good thing that didn't hit us. But not things that are planet-sized. We can clearly see comets from far away. Also, while in both cases there did turn out to be a Planet X, turned out it was Neptune, or was it Pluto? Well, basically, there was a planet hiding behind one of those. I forget which one we found first. I think Pluto was the last planet found, and it turned out to be Pluto. The second Planet X also turned out to be true. There's a belt around our solar system called the Kuiper Belt, and it turns out that our solar system is actually a binary star system. I don't know if you heard about this. There's a dim, dark star in the Kuiper Belt. We can't see it for several reasons. One, because it's so dim, it actually doesn't put out enough light to even reach Earth. It's too dim, we can't see it. It doesn't really put out much heat either. I mean, it's a dim, dead star. But it is a star, which technically makes Earth a binary star system. It's not a planet. The thing about this is it sometimes flings meteors at us. For some reason, we were having too many meteor impacts. Statistically, mathematically, our solar system should be more stable than it is, based on their calculations. And they thought, well, why is that? What is flinging meteors to the center of our solar system? It turns out that orbiting around our solar system is this dim star. Now, what does that mean? That means there's another center of gravity that has things orbiting around it. Well, sometimes objects break orbit and fling. Now, when they break orbit, they're coming around in our direction, then they do get flung towards the center of the solar system. So if they mean that Nibiru will destroy us via meteor, that's entirely possible. But again, there's no evidence for that. And that's not a planet. That's not another planet smashing into us. So I don't really see... I also don't see how the Mayans would have known that. That's not... You can't gain that knowledge via mathematical calculation. Chaos theory doesn't allow for it. And if aliens told them, how did they know that all these meteors crashing into each other, that one would, in 1,000 years, happen to be going along the right gravitational pull around this dwarf star? We'll call it Nibiru for the sake of argument. I don't think they've named it. How did they know that it would be flinging towards Earth at this exact time? Again, chaos theory makes that impossible. Even if they have insanely advanced technology, they cannot defy the laws of physics. Alright, now I can't really think of anything else. I hope I've illuminated the 2012 issue for you better. If I didn't tell you what you wanted to know, then I apologize, and please feel free to post something on Facebook or in this video telling me precisely what you wanted me to talk about. I've told you all I know. I would have to do more research. Here's the interesting thing about 2012. Either it's going to happen, and it doesn't matter because you're going to die, or it's not going to happen, and it doesn't matter because it's not going to happen. That's the problem with doomsday prophecies that are AFPs. There's no way to save yourself. It's going to happen one way or the other. So why worry about it? Spend time with those you love, just as you should if the world's not going to end. And until my next video, just try to make the world a better place, and I will too.